One of the most stunning episodes in politics that I've seen in a long time happened yesterday. Senator Tammy Duckworth pledging that she will not vote for any Biden administration nominee on the floor of the United States Senate until they explicitly nominate more Asian American or Pacific Islanders. This is what she said. There's not enough AAPI representation. Work together. We're friendly with each other. We understand the situation. But she basically, and let's put this next one up on there on the screen, because this is what really pissed me off, which is that she said, quote, I am a no vote on the floor on all non-diversity nominees. I will vote for racial minorities and LGBTQ, but anybody else I'm not voting for. So you just woke yourself into literal racial segregation. Like, this is the point which drives me insane. There's no discussion of policy. There's no discussion about what these people stand for.
Right.
It's the explicit admission that I'm only going to vote for people who aren't white or gay or LGBT. What? Excuse me? So what exactly does that mean?
You're going to, like, paper bag test the nominees now? Yeah, is that what you're going to do?
Exactly. This leads to, like, Elizabeth Warren taking a blood test, right? And being like, well, I'm 0.0001% Native American. I mean, this is what you memed yourself into, like, 1920s phrenology. Congratulations. And it really is disgusting because the media is holding this up as if it's some sort of brave stand on behalf of Asian Americans. And look, how are the policies of each of these nominees going to affect Asian Americans on a policy level? She's not bringing that up at all. The implicit assumption is that by having Asian Americans in the cabinet is going to help Asians. Okay, so let me give you an example. Elaine Chao, who is the Secretary of Transportation, let's say that she cut funding for a highway in California in a majority Asian population. Is that a victory for Asians?
Yeah.
Because an Asian did it?
Well,
no.
It's a great point, too, because actually Elaine Chao, who's in a lot of trouble for a lot of alleged corruption, her defenders are using exactly this identity politics. Yeah. You're going after a trailblazing Asian American woman. It's all... So that is, and this is why I become so cynical about representation-only politics, because oftentimes it covers for anything substantive. And by the way, it wasn't just Tammy Duckworth. Then Mazie Hirono joined in as well. Let's take a listen to what she had to say.
Tammy's position is that until she gets a commitment from the White House that there will be more diversity representation in the cabinet and senior White House advisory positions, she will not vote to confirm anyone who does not represent diversity. So this is not about pitting one diversity group against another. I think this is a well-articulated, focused position, and I am prepared to join her in that.
Do you think the Biden administration has been adequately receptive to your entreaties for more diversity?
Obviously not. Otherwise, Tammy and I wouldn't be taking our position. But we would like to encourage them to do better.
Do you think do you think that there is a desire to do better? I should rephrase.
I hope so. And this will give them another opportunity to express that desire and to make a commitment.
So desire to do better.
Another example here is Neera Tanden.
Yeah.
Asian American woman who was blocked for, well, the reasons that she was blocked were actually kind of stupid about her tweets. But substantively on the policy level, she has been a disaster. I mean, she gutted the programs that she claims helped her to rise to the top. I mean, this is someone who has been terrible for people of color, casually floated invading Libya to steal their oil. That's the type of person that you're going to bat for on the one hand, and that you're mad got blocked. On the other hand, again, on the policy level, let's look at the person that they actually balked at here is a guy named Colin Kahl, who is the nominee to be the Pentagon's policy chief, who's been criticized for not being pro-Israel enough, who is very integral in terms of the Iranian deal and putting that together. So on the policy level, who do you think is better for people of color here and around the world?
This is what Ryan.
This guy, Colin Kahl, or Neratandon, okay? That's where hollow representation only identity politics gets you. And look, I believe that diversity is important. I believe that representation is not nothing, but they divorce it always from any kind of substance, and they make it just a complete cover for what always ends up being policies that, guess what? Hurt people of color. That's the case with Elaine Chao. It's the case with Neratandon. It's the case here. And it's just one other thing. Why is it that the identitarians always go harder than the people who actually have substantive policy positions that, again, would disproportionately benefit working class people and people of color?
That's actually a great point in terms of what they're willing to go out and do and what other people who aren't willing to go out and do. Let me give you guys an example. So Tammy Duckworth calls the White House and she says that she asked them, she's like, why don't you have more Asian American representation in Congress? And what do they say? They say, well, you know, the vice president of the United States is half South Asian. And she was like, I was insulted. Well, what's enough? This is my question. What is enough? So being half South Asian is not enough to qualify as Asian American. This is how Tammy Duckworth has memed herself into basically blood quotas. How much is enough? Being half Asian is not enough? So if somebody was half Asian and half white, would they not qualify? According to Tammy Duckworth, should it be 3/4? Does she want to go and look in people's family trees? This is the type of stuff that Southern segregationists and the Nazis used to do back in the 1930s. So congratulations. That's essentially what you've woked your way into.
So she's like, Kamala Harris isn't Asian enough to meet my standards?
Yeah. That's just one half Asian is not enough.
Not enough.
So, okay, what's the number? Is it 2? Is it 3? So one more full Asian is going to compromise
tests now
there
for
you go.
everybody. Make sure we're meeting the diversity quotas. So woke that you're racist. Congratulations, everybody.
That's right.
More rising for you after this.